Ewelina Kurtys, welcome to the PhD Launch podcast, and thank you so much for being my next guest. So, how do you feel today?
Very good. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. I'd like to start to knowing a bit about yourself. What was your academic background? What was your PhD before you've landed as in a role as a scientist at FinalSpark?
So I did my masters. I did 2 masters in pharmacy and biotechnology in Poland, where I come from, and then I traveled also quite a lot. I was studying also in Belgium and Italy, and later I did PhD in the Netherlands in medical imaging. I was doing neuroscience because I realized that the most interesting part of the biomedical topics is neuroscience and brain for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a very nice project where I tested the effect of nutrition of some anti-inflammatory formulations on brain inflammation, and I was also looking how it can affect disease progress in preclinical. So that's the science. After I did also a postdoc at King's College in London because I was not sure what to do with myself. I didn't really know what are the options in the industry. I had absolutely no clue. I was applying to some big corporations, but I think I wouldn't fit too much. And later I realized by networking, just trial and error, I realized that there are a lot of small companies which are doing technical things, and then I found this is my niche. So actually, since that time, I'm not working in the lab anymore. I work on the commercial work. I do commercial work. So anything which is sales, business development, marketing, anything, but on deep tech projects. So I can use my advantage here because it's easier to understand. If you have a PhD, it's always easier to understand another technical topic.
Yeah.
So yes, so when I was living in London, I also discovered artificial intelligence. I realized you can set up your own business. Why not? You don't have to be an employee, and it's quite easy in UK. So I think it's a paradise for entrepreneurship. And I set up a company. I started to work as a consultant, so I have more freedom. And yes, and this is where I am now. I'm working with FinalSpark, as you mentioned, since a few years, and we are a small team of 6 people. All of them are in Switzerland. I'm the only person who is working remotely because I don't do like on daily basis. I don't do R&D, so I can do this separately. But actually, all the team has to be there in the office because it's important for technology developments to have people in one place. And yes, and we try to build computers from living neurons. So this somehow corresponds with my background in my PhD in neuroscience. So it's easier for me to understand. And also because I studied a lot AI also when I started to work on commercial applications. So that's a combination of these 2 topics, which are fascinating for me, neuroscience and AI.
So it's you using a bit of the both worlds,
Yes,
as you said,
yes,
as you
absolutely.
mentioned.
Yes, because in biocomputing, actually, that's a new field on which we're working, where we build computers from living neurons. And here you have to combine these 2 fields,
Wow.
neuroscience and engineering.
So a lot of traveling, then trial and error, a bit of network, and then you've landed at FinalSpark, when then you are able to demonstrate your expertise in both fields, the neuroscience and the economical venture as well, in trying to showcase what FinalSpark is. But it's quite impressive, and I was wondering how long did you take for you to network with different people in order to land in your current position?
Oh, I think it's hard to judge. It's a process. I think it's just ongoing process. You cannot say it's your whole life.
Yes.
So, I'd say I don't think you can just give a timeline. But I think it's good to be always open to network and always talk to people, always be curious, no matter where you are, because it always pays you back.
Yes. And I think also with having a PhD, and also can be more open-minded and trying to asking questions, as our supervisors tells us to keep asking questions to yourself. And what if this? What if that? How does this? How does it work on that? I think that is a
Yes,
big
you're right. It's
advantage.
very helpful. Yes.
So, as we were you saying about computers through living neurons, then how that idea uh, came came upon to a positive outcome. And on a personal note, you said as well that you're working remotely, but I wonder how is the day at the lab? Do you also go to Switzerland quite often, or is it mostly remote work, as you said?
I don't work in the lab,
You
so I
don't
don't
work in the
work in the lab anymore. So it's just totally different. I left the lab, and I have to say I never look back. Although I really enjoyed being in the lab, but at some point I realized I don't want to do this anymore, and I don't regret this.
Okay.
And yes, how it started. So FinalSpark was founded by Fred Jordan and Martin Kuter. These are two Swiss entrepreneurs. They have already another company, which is digital technologies, and it's profitable. So they have money to start something else, which doesn't have to be so quick to make money,
Mm.
but like a dream. So they had a dream to build a thinking machine, like many engineers,
Uh-huh.
and they started initially with the digital technologies, but later they realized it's too expensive.
Mm.
So if you have a small budget, you have to be more disruptive, and they decided to go on neuroscience.
Mm. Wow. Sounds like a up of whole. It probably took a bit of time then to just to come up with a project idea on a budget then.
Yes.
And how then does that work with using human cells?
Yes. So we use standard methods same from biomedical research. That's nothing new. You can
Uh-huh.
culture neurons in the lab. It's quite often used, but we do different purpose. So we want to do this because we want to build computer from living neurons.
Mm.
So we put neurons on electrodes. In this way, we can send them electrical signals, and we can measure the response from neurons,
Mm.
which are spikes. And we want to be able to program them. So basically, we want to be able to send them electrical signals, and so that they answer us in meaningful way, the same way as digital computers are doing today.
But how do we get do we obtain those human cells?
From human skin.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually the process which is already commercialized. So it's quite standard. And today you can buy stem cells which are derived from human skin.
Mm.
And from the stem cells, you can have theoretically any cells you want.
Oh my! So it's so easy then to obtain human skin then.
Yes.
Wow! And then is it a rather complicated process to run these tests? Does it have any positive outcomes? Was there any major setbacks in order to test them and use them to build computer hardware?
Yes, it's very difficult, and there are a lot of problems every day.
Mm.
Actually, every time you work with biology, you always have a lot of problems,
Mm.
but here even more because it's really challenging project.
Yeah.
And we have all types of problems: how to get the right cells, how to keep them alive,
Mm.
and how to avoid contamination. So you have challenges every day. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And the most difficult thing is programming neurons because nobody really knows how they encode information. So we
Mm.
have to do a lot of trial and error to try to figure out some methods. And so far, we managed to store 1 bit of information. So this is to illustrate how early we are. That's this very early stage.
At an early stage. Wow. So tell me, do you have do you remember a time where the team had that challenge, and then how the team overcame that challenge, and what did they learn from that?
Well, every time we have an issue, we actually, what is characteristic is that we are very relaxed, but I can tell you it's not a usual thing. in many places I've seen it's not like that, but we are always relaxed and we just try to solve the problem. So yes, so I think FinalSpark has very nice atmosphere, which is stimulating creativity and solving problem solving, and we don't follow emotions so much. So actually, I never found I've never seen the founders angry. Actually, I work with them maybe more than 5 years already. I stopped counting, but I think I've never saw them angry. And that's,
Oh.
I think it's very important thing, and it's very rare, because I think people are sometimes very weak, and just go out of mind when they are stressed. But if
Mm.
you are running a startup, there is always some stress. You can never
Yes.
avoid it. So I think it's important to have this kind of composure,
Mm.
emotional. And
It's
actually, for everyone, because like all the team members, I've never seen anyone really angry. I don't remember that. So maybe okay, I work remotely, so it's always different. Yes, but still, I have to say it's remarkable, and that's very important. To keep. Then you can keep building.
mm.
You don't have to waste your energy.
That's quite rare this is something that I've hear rarely, or maybe this is the first
Because
time
it's
I'm
very
hearing
rare.
it.
Trust me,
Yeah,
most of the people cannot say that.
maybe you have a startup and then just building living human neurons, and we ourselves are humans as well, and then we try to restrain our emotions, and
Yes, I think it's
and
very
that's just
important.
yeah,
Miss
and
this thing.
and that's just said. I mean, it's like okay, but this is not working, and then it's just I can't point fingers at someone to blame on, which is so rare. Just said in any startup or any major established business. So, oh my gosh, I'm speechless now. And for those challenges, does that also include trying to reduce any energy consumption, as well as not depending heavily on AI, which is it's a big thing nowadays, and many people are still uncertain or scared, or just everything just comes up and is amplified.
So I can tell you honestly, we don't try to save money on digital AI. I don't do this also myself in my work.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bad idea. I think it's very important to use AI in your work, because if you don't do this, then other people will do this, and then you will stay behind. So I think it's not a good idea. But so we use heavily digital AI, and we actually have some ideas on how to more and more ideas. With the LLMs being better and better,
Mm,
we have always growing bank of ideas how we can use it to automate our work
mm,
in every aspect. So the whole project is about building computer which will be ultra energy efficient. So will be AI will be much cheaper running on this, but that's the future. So absolutely, that doesn't mean that R&D is saving energy. That doesn't work that way. Actually, when you're building something, you will sometimes use a lot energy. So to figure out, once it works, it will be easy. But before
mm.
it works, you have to put a lot of effort and energy also really electrical energy. No, absolutely, we don't save energy today. Today is R&D, and once we figure out how to use living neurons as computer, then we can talk about saving energy.
And
Because
emotional
neurons
energy
for
too.
sure are energy efficient, but that's only when you have computers which are really working. Then you can talk about saving.
Mm. And as I was saying, is then not only saving energy, but electrical energy, as you said, but also I wanted to point out saving also emotional energy when working on
Yeah.
these kind of things on the computers. Uh, but then you also said about looking out for investors, and which, as you said, your main role before, when we had our first chat like a month
Mhm.
ago. Uh, did you find any hurdles, any challenges where investors are a bit reluctant to invest in FinalSpark?
Yes, definitely. The biggest challenge is the fact that it's such a long-term project.
Mm,
So it's like quantum computing. It takes a long time, but we have much less visibility than quantum. So people are still reluctant to put money. Actually, we get a lot of requests from our website from individual people who want to
Mm-hmm.
put their own money, sometimes quite a lot. But for investors like venture funds, I think it's still challenge because most of them they invest in short-term projects. And especially today when you have LLMs and everyone says we don't know the future, it's very unpredictable. So people are afraid even more because the longer the timeline, the higher the risk. And it's true, it's very high risk project. So it's not for everyone. So yes, that's the biggest challenge is this.
Any businesses that have already invested in FinalSpark,
No, we are currently self-funded by the founder.
self-funding,
Mhm.
but still going on talks.
Yes,
For
because we search for 50 millions. It's a big amount of money. So
yeah,
there are a lot of people who want to invest small amounts of money, but it's a challenge with 50 millions.
yeah. I agree on that, and because as you said, they're looking for short-term investment, and in this day and age, there's a lot of uncertainty of we don't know what's going to happen, and
Yes,
it feels a bit normal to say, okay, it is seems interesting, but to invest, you just need to be a bit cautious on that. Uh, I was doing actually some research on the website, and I was looking. Oh, Ewelina told me about trying to do investments, and I myself not a big investor, but a small investor. And I was like, oh, so they have a minimum amount. And I say,
hmm
maybe I can speak to Ewelina after the talk and say, how can I do this? And then trying to invest on a long on for like the minimum amount, and then if whatever comes, invest in a larger amount in the future. You know? So from what I understood, it is open to everyone who wants to invest.
yes, but the minimum ticket size is 1 million.
1 million.
So this is a challenge. Yes.
um, and then one of the things that I was really interested in knowing about that, you have tried to reach out Final Spark through whether through podcasts, also writing articles, being featured in different events.
Yes.
Uh, was there any event that you've been invited to talk about about the project?
Oh, yes. All the time, actually, we are almost every day invited for events. I think it's quite interesting technology. So yes, many people would like us to speak on the events, and of course, we don't always accept because we have limited,
Mm.
resources. But yes, we are invited a lot.
So they don't. So when you guys, when Final Spark is invited to those events,
Yes.
though they don't pay. They don't pay the company to come to
No, they
for you
always
to be.
actually we only go for the event if we are paid the travel,
Yes.
all the expenses, including the ticket for the conference and the travel, anything. We have to be strict because if we would like to go everywhere, then we would be doing nothing else.
Yes.
But we have to figure out. And also, actually, even if people pay us, that doesn't mean we should go
Mm-hmm.
because it costs a lot of time. So we have to be really mindful because we are only 6 people and we have
Yeah.
to always carefully think, doesn't bring me what I wanted or not. So
Mm.
that's always important.
Mm.
How to use your time effectively.
Yes. And that's a major thing for, as you said, as a small company, it takes a
Yes.
bit of cautious to travel and expand the concept of of Final
Yes.
Spark. Uh, which one, which event did you attend? The last event you attended
Oh,
before this talk.
the last one was, I think, Robotics Summit in Paderborn in Germany.
Did you have to speak in German or
No,
just in English?
no, I spoke in English.
Oh, because I was curious about this because I've been to understand a bit more of the content because I've my academic background is a completely different a different
Mhm.
topic. I come from ancient history, and I have zero knowledge in computers through living neurons and even in computer science, and I was trying to understand how how this process works in order to make these questions
Mhm.
for the talk. And I had the guts to attend uh, one of your events in Poland when you had to speak your own native language.
You
I
mean
saw it.
where
Yes,
I spoke? Ah, okay, okay.
yes. I saw it on YouTube. I don't remember which one. Was it?
Oh, maybe that was from Katowice because they posted recently, and I posted this on LinkedIn also.
Okay. What was it? What was it like to be there, to attend the event,
Always
to not
nice.
to attend and to speak?
It's always a pleasure. I love to do this. So for me, it's always a pleasure. Some people are stressed, but I'm
Mm,
excited always when I speak.
yeah, and I think that's a big thing because many people just going there at the stage, they feel nervous and
Mhm.
they don't know what to say. They are going everything on the script,
Mhm.
but then if I and if you said, as you said, that event that happened in that location, sorry, I'm not able to pronounce it,
Mhm.
uh, and then speaking in your native language, then it would be much more comfortable, right?
Yes, of course. Mhm.
Yeah, and the questions is just would be so natural. So you didn't need to have any script whatsoever to answer those questions.
No, I think if you don't, I did it in the past when I was less confident and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know very well the topic. I had few times presentations where I really learned word by word what I'm going to say by heart. And
Mm.
I think it's a good starting point
Yes.
because that gives you opportunity to speak with total confidence because you know exactly what you will say. So I did it at the beginning,
Mm.
but later, uh, once I realized it's not so difficult to speak, I don't have to do this anymore. But I really recommend this as a start if someone is nervous.
Yeah.
Very
Eh,
good, but you have to repeat like maybe 50 times your speech
mm.
until you get tired, but then you get more confident if you have issues with confidence. Yes.
Mm. Did you have also uh, these these type of uh, these type of public speaking events during your PhD when if you presented at
Not so many,
conferences?
but yes, I
Mm.
always like it. But of course, as a PhD, you sit mostly in the lab. You don't stay so much, outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say much less, much less.
So that was another the question about the potential investors as you've answered. Uh, did you was there any criticism FinalSpark has received? So any negative criticism?
Well, some people are scared of what we are doing, but that's normal
Mm.
because every new technology, I think, is bringing some questions and fears,
Mm.
and people are usually afraid of what they don't understand. Uh, I think it's normal that when you have a new technology,
Mm.
some people are afraid. Yes.
Mm.
So that's why we try to be so transparent and to
Yes.
share about what we do so that people can understand.
Mm. That's that's a that's a nice way to see things in a positive way when receiving criticism. And
Yes.
I would say that Fred and Martin would just maintain their composure and say, okay, just as we were saying initially, to not being so over dramatic or emotional when running the test, but also when receiving criticism.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, how do you ensure, or even FinalSpark ensure that this state of the art technology, or let's say this um, computer hardware through living neurons, which is a revolutionary
Mhm.
thing, how will that benefit society
Well, because
broadly?
we will build computers which will use much, much less energy. Neurons are 1 million times more energy efficient
Mm,
than digital computers. So that's why.
mm. So projecting this for the future, where would you think that this would be more practical or usual in maybe in a few decades, or just a couple
We,
more
we
hundreds
expect
of
a
years
computer in 10 years.
in 10 years. Wow. So there's a lot of confidence then.
Yes.
And you also have a YouTube channel, uh, right?
Yes.
I had seen it. Do you also do you use it quite regularly to?
No,
Don't really no.
not really so much.
Mm,
But
mm,
yes, I enjoy talking. So yes, every
mm.
opportunity is good.
But is if it would be related to your day-to-day job, FinalSpark, or is just a completely different um, channel where you just share your hobbies or
No, I would
sciences?
definitely do something completely different.
Mm. So in that case, if you weren't doing this role at FinalSpark, then what would you do?
I think I would be a salesperson on some technical products, some complex technical sales,
Oh.
because I love to talk, I love to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And when there are a lot of technicalities, I have advantage because I like I like to read about this, so I can understand. And then I think I also know how to explain things in such a way that everyone can understand.
Mm. Any specific company you in that case, any specific company would you rather
No,
to apply? Just
no,
any.
I never thought. I didn't think about it because if I have to, then I will search. But I didn't really focus. But yes, that definitely. If not this, I would do sales. Yes,
Mm.
or maybe
It's
something else. Who knows?
maybe something else.
A lot of things I don't know yet about myself. You know.
And one of the things, also going back to the last question about uh, the computers helping society more broadly, they also have a uh, on the Final Sparks website. They also have a like a sort of a mini game, isn't it? So that they can interact with.
You mean butterfly?
I think so. Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
I have checked a few days ago, and just trying to play around with it. See, I can't understand this. Okay,
Mhm.
can you just explain to us how can they interact for someone who has no background in science?
Yeah, you don't need to have a background. Actually, we have done a web application
Uh huh.
which is called Butterfly. It doesn't always work because it's connected to real neurons. And sometimes we have problems in the lab or limited resources, so it doesn't work always. But when it works, is basically you can move a butterfly on the screen, and you decide the direction. And whether butterfly will move or not will depends on the activity of neurons. So it's kind of like controlled by living neurons.
So it's not saying perfect, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Then.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Sometimes it's closed.
Mm.
If it doesn't work, you cannot log in inside, and then you know that doesn't work.
Uh,
And it
so
just doesn't
yeah.
work because we have limited resources, because it has to be connected to real neurons. So that's why it's sometimes closed.
Mm. Mm. So it is still something not underworking, to say the least. Then,
Yes.
so but it makes it aware for who wants to interact to understand how this butterfly process works. Then,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah. So would be would be someone is it saying in putting this question, would Final Spark be open eventual job roles if they wanted to
Yes,
expand?
definitely, but not now. Definitely. Now we don't hire, although we get a lot of questions from people for
Mm-hmm.
internships or jobs.
Yes.
We don't hire because we have limited budget.
Yeah.
But once we will find investor, that's the objective
Yeah.
actually for the investment, is to increase the team. So
Yeah.
then we will be hiring. Yes.
Sure. Has that was there any chance to reach out to universities to have this investment to have for them to invest or just to have a partnership for students to know the team for an eventual job role as as you say, even though it's not for now, but at a later stage.
Well, universities rather don't have money to invest 50 millions, but we do collaborate with universities. Actually, we invest in them
Mm-hmm.
because we selected some universities to give them free access to our lab. So actually, we kind of put money into this.
Mm.
Universities can also rent the lab. We have such a clients who are universities who pay us to get the access.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I think it's also good to use it for education. We actually try to promote this also as could be a tool for education,
Yes.
because you can connect to our lab remotely at any time and you can do experiments. So yes, we do work a lot with universities. Yes.
Mm. Is it mostly uh, based in Switzerland, or is also
Oh,
is it
no,
no?
everywhere. Actually, on
Is
our
it?
website, finalspark.com, you
Mm.
can see a section Neuro platform, and there are actually all the universities which they are listed there, all who get access for free.
Mm.
They are from everywhere.
Okay. So they make sure students and graduates, if you are interested, just
Yes,
make sure
definitely.
and can also link up with Ewelina. We'll
Yes,
go over there, and just try to interact. And I think this is going to be a revolutionary move in 10 years' time, as you said. And
yes,
anything that is new, it has a bit of resistance, of course, but I think it's gonna stay.
yes,
And I think it won't be much dependent on AI. Let's see everything with AI and being dependent on so much of it, even for
yes,
simple questions, right?
yes.
Uh, so in that case, as just to wrap up, do you have any advice to PhDs, or even to those who want to take a PhD specifically in this area? And what challenges do you have to share with them, and in order for them to achieve success? And currently in this stage where the market labor is so rough
Mhm.
nowadays that even myself I'm going to have those challenges where because I'm still doing my corrections.
Okay. I think that it's not possible, I think, to do PhD in biocomputing. It's too fresh, the field.
Mm-hmm.
If you are interested in this kind of stuff, it's definitely there are projects on the intersection of neuroscience and engineering, for example, brain-computer interface. And I think for a PhD, definitely it's good to think what really is the most interesting topic for you.
Mm.
I think it's good criteria to choose. I follow that. And for me, it worked amazingly because I enjoyed a lot my PhD
Mm.
because I like the topic.
Yes.
Yes. And when it comes, yeah, you ask about PhD, yes?
Mm.
The advice for PhD, yeah, that would be the advice to do something what you really enjoy. Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
Yes. And that I think that time is a valuable resource, and which many of us don't value it 100%. Because I'd say
Yes.
I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that.
Mhm.
Or maybe you have time for that. You have time and you just don't know how to use it. So, Evelina, where they can follow, you've already shared the FinalSpark's website, but where they can follow more of your work, where they can connect Fred and Martin, because I think they would be for the top ones to reach out to network with, where they
I
can
think the
follow.
best is our website. We have also Discord for technical discussion.
Mm-hmm.
We have also newsletter. All the information are on our website, and if someone needs any guidance, is very welcome to send us a message.
Mm. And go specifically to you as well, if they want to
Yes,
connect with you.
we answer every message always. Yes.
All right. So I think this is a wrap up. So
Thank you so much.
Evelina, thank you so
Thank you.
much. And I mean, for the students and graduates hearing this topic, just reach out to Evelina. Uh, check out finalspark.com, check out every resource, and maybe you will eventually network with them. So
Thank you
thank
so much.
you. Thank you so much, Evelina. Thank you all for tuning in, and it has been a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye bye.